Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. It's been a bit quiet on the boxing front, at least as far as fights are concerned. But I thought what we do is we'll have a look at the upcoming fights over the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks, make a little list. Of course, they're open to being cancelled or postponed or whatever, but let's go through a few of them because there's some good stuff just around the corner. Let's start on the 24th of January. So we're on 18th of January now, so it's going to be, not too far away. It's on Sky Sports and ESPN, and it is Naoya Inoue versus Yi-Jun Kim, who is replacing Sam Goodman, who twice pulled out of a fight with Inoue. You know all about Inoue. Yi-Jun Kim, I don't know a great deal about him. I know he's a vet. He's in his 30s. Doesn't really have any big names on his record, but at the 11th hour, he's had the guts to take on Inoue. I don't think he's had a world title shot before. Everyone expects Inoue to blast right through him. Yeah, we'll see. So that's the 24th of January. On the 25th of January, over in Britain, this will be in Nottingham. It's going to be shown on DAZN. Dalton Smith against Waleed Ouiza. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And this is a European super lightweight title. On the undercard, you're going to have Ellie Scotney against Miyamoto. That is for the IBF bantamweight title. Harry Scarf and Conor Walker are going to fight for the British and Commonwealth welterweight titles. So that looks like a pretty decent card, pretty decent domestic card. That's on January the 25th, the day after Inoue versus Yi-Jun Kim. And also on the same day, but obviously there'll be a big time difference, I think this is another DAZN card, Diego Pacheco and Steve Nelson. Pacheco looking very, very good, very big for the weight. It's going to be in Vegas. Steve Nelson, I don't know a great deal about him, but Pacheco is a hot favourite to win. But always worth looking at Pacheco. You're going to have Andy Cruz versus Omar Salcedo on the undercard. Cruz is highly touted, expected to win world titles. And then Ernesto Mercado versus Jose Pedraza. That looks like a good little undercard fight. So January the 25th, both sides of the Atlantic, you got some activity. And again, that's only like a week away, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Bit of a late nighter, as you know. Get the old energy drinks out. On January the 31st, so that's the following weekend, you got George Liddard against Derek Osaze. Now, Liddard had a little sort of knockover job recently. So this is a quickish turnaround for him. This is at the O2 in London. That's on DAZN as well. They're mopping up everything, aren't they? DAZN at the moment. But George Liddard, looking good, very good prospect. Looking forward to seeing him again. Derek Osaze, tough domestic level fighter. Yeah, he'll give him a row. Be a much, much better fight, I think, than that previous knockover job where the opponent really was very disappointing. And George actually left a message on the review I did of that fight, his last fight, and said, I can only beat what's in front of me. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's fair enough, mate. It's not his fault if the other guy's weak and turns out to be a busted flush. All the best to George Liddard. Good fighter. Then February the 1st, the following day on Sky Sports. Now, is this a Sunday? Is February the 1st a Sunday? Or is it a Sunday? I'm trying to work it out. 25th. I think it might be a Saturday, actually. Adam Azim and Sergey Lipinets is at the OVO Arena, Wembley, on Sky Sports. That's a good fight. Azim took care of, what's his name? You know who I mean, Ahara Davies, last time out. Looked pretty good doing it. There was a lot of heat on him for ducking, was it Dalton Smith? He gave up the EBU title when he had it. I like Adam Azim. He's trained by Shane McGuigan. I think he's looking good. Sergey Lipinets has seen far better days, but he's a very capable European level fighter. So I think this is a good test for Adam Azim. That's at Wembley on the 1st of February. On the undercard, you've got the English Cruiserweight title. This could be a really good one. Vidal Riley and Isaac Chamberlain. That could be a fun fight. And then, same day, February the 1st, I think it is a Saturday, which means that Lidard versus Azazi would be on a Friday. But on February the 1st, other side of the Atlantic, in Vegas again. And this is on Amazon Prime, this one. David Benavidez against David Morrell. Now, both these fighters have, they moved up from super middleweight because Canelo essentially ducked both of them. They both won secondary light heavyweight titles. Now they're meeting. I think this is a very, very good matchup. Very good matchup. Benavidez goes in as the favourite, but do not sleep on Morrell. At 168, I thought Morrell looked like a real killer, even though he hasn't had many fights. He lacks experience. Didn't look great in his debut at 175, but then neither did Benavidez, not really. Although I think Benavidez he fought Vosdik and had a better quality of opposition. But this is an intriguing fight, really intriguing fight. Both these guys could still make 168, so I think it's good. It's good fight. Really looking forward to that one. On February the 2nd, which, if I'm doing this right, is a Sunday, Clarissa Shields defends her WBC, WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight titles. How she ends up with 4 belts, I do not know, because as far as I know, she's only fought once at heavyweight. But the heavyweight, women's boxing, the weight divisions are lacking in depth anyway, but there are so few heavyweights. This is just belt collecting. And she fights Danielle Perkins. I know nothing about Danielle Perkins, and I'm someone that does watch quite a lot of women's boxing. But yeah, that's Clarissa getting a little run around, little easy gig, I suppose. On the 7th, Shakan Pitters takes on Danielle Blenda dos Santos. Now, this is it's on Sky Sports, and I think this is one of Izzy Azif's cards, which I thought he had a deal with DAZN, but this one's on Sky Sports. That's a European light heavyweight title. Now, Shakan Pitters, very tall for the light heavyweight limit. He's got a couple of defeats on his record, but still a very good fighter. I like him a lot. He's entertaining as well. I've seen him live in the flesh, and he is entertaining. Good fighter, very, very tall for the weight. And I think Dos Santos has one defeat on his record, which was a knockout to Buatsi, I think it was. 4-round knockout, if memory serves. So this is an intriguing matchup as well. Good fight. And then you got Tycee Gallagher and Ebony Jones on the undercard. That's the British and Commonwealth super bantamweight titles. Tycee Gallagher, yeah, she's pretty good fighter. She's got a lot to prove, but she's good domestic level, maybe European level woman, finding her way through the sport. Yeah, that's a decent enough fight. And on February the 8th, which is the following weekend, Derek Chisora and Otto Wallin. Enough said, about both those fighters. Both those fighters. Zach Parker and Willie Hutchinson is a very good matchup. That is on the undercard. Willie Hutchinson coming off defeat at light heavy to Buatsi, but he showed a lot of guts. And the guy, and of course he's got a previous win over Spider Richards, isn't he? Which was very good. Both of those on Riyadh cards. So he's back in Manchester. Is it Manchester? Yeah, it's Manchester, isn't it? Wallin versus Chisora. This is on the undercard. Good fight. Masuda Abula versus Zach Miller for the Commonwealth featherweight title. Decent undercard fight. With those sort of fights, sometimes they really deliver, and you don't expect them to. They sort of come out of nowhere at you. So I'll watch that one. February the 14th, Keyshawn Davis against Dennis Baranchik, WBO lightweight title. Yeah, good matchup, very, very good matchup. This is in New York, Madison Square Garden, actually. Good fight, good matchup there. I'm looking forward to that one. February the 15th, Jack Catterall and Arnold Barbosa, WBO interim super lightweight title. That's in Manchester. You know about Catterall. Arnold Barbosa's a good fighter, but beatable. I would expect Catterall to win that. And on the undercard, watch out for this one. Reece Bellotti against Michael Gomez Jr. for the British and Commonwealth super featherweight titles. That's a grudge match because Gomez Jr. pulled out at the 11th hour of this fight previously, leaving Bellotti without a paycheck and with a wasted camp, and he was not happy, Bellotti, not happy at all. Reece Bellotti enjoying a real Indian summer in his career, Very good fighter, very good domestic level fighter. I like him a lot. I've seen him live as well. He's a good fighter. But Gomez Jr., the son of Michael Gomez, obviously the former fighter, I mean, the guy who fought Alex Arthur in that incredible war, and had loads of really entertaining fights. I think he's suffering for it now, though. A bit of CTE going on there, but yeah. Good fight. Pat McCormack and Robbie Davies Jr. is also on the undercard. Again, February the 15th on the undercard of Jack Catell versus Arnold Barbosa. That's a good matchup, McCormack and Davies Jr. Davies Jr. has seen better days. McCormack, you would expect him to win, but I think Davies Jr., I've seen his last couple of fights. One of them was a defeat, one of them was a win, but he's not to be written off, I would say. And then, of course, February the 22nd, we have Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol 2. The undercard, of course, how about this for undercard? Amazing stuff. Daniel Dubois against Joseph Parker. Carlos Adames against Hamza Shiraz. Virgil Ortiz against Ismail Madrimov. Shakur Stevenson against Floyd Schofield. Zile Zhang against Ajit Kabayel. And Joshua Buatsi against Callum Smith. That's your undercard. Any one of those is a headliner. Incredible card. February the 22nd, obviously a do not miss from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's going to be shown on DAZN, TNT, Sky Sports. It's all pay-per-view, but it is what it is. What an astonishing card. I mean, if you're absolutely going to have pay-per-view, that's the card that justifies it. Although, my opinions on pay-per-view. And then 2 days later, you've got Junto Nakatani against David Cuellar. Nakatani's a good fighter, very entertaining. Japanese boxing is flying. This will be in Tokyo for the WBC bantamweight title. Nakatani, they're trying to edge him towards an all Japanese fight with Inoue. Yep, I'd love to see that fight, but he's got to get through David Cuellar. You've also got Seiya Satsume against Daigo Higa for the WBA bantamweight title. Again, Japanese interest there. And also Tenshin Nasukawa is fighting against Jason Maloney of Australia. Maloney's had a lot of fights in Australia, in Japan. I think he's settled there. I think he trains there quite a lot. And Tenshin Nasukawa has been looking good lately, so that's a good matchup. Those Japanese cards are fantastic. They really are. Don't miss them. If you love your boxing and you're not some dumb fanboy who just wants to idolise a particular fighter, but if you actually do love boxing and want to watch it, regardless of the level or, where it is, what country it's in, what weight it is, Japanese cards are the cards for you. Trust me. And on March the 1st, Paddy Donovan against Lewis Crocker. That's on DAZN. That's over in Belfast. I think Ryan Garner's fighting against Salvador Jimenez as well. That's in Bournemouth, I think. So that takes us up to early March, which is so that's about 6 weeks from now. You can't complain about that, can you? And we've got plenty more to come later in the year. But I think that's a pretty decent next 6 weeks. In fact, it's a very decent next 6 weeks. I mean, Christ almighty, that Beterbiev Bivol 2 card, if you just had that to look forward to, that would be something, wouldn't it? But yeah, so which ones are you looking forward to? Let me know. Comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. It makes sense. Spread the word. Much love to all of you. I'll speak to you soon, and bye for now.